Now, a formal bail hearing will take place today at the Frankfort Magistrates Court for a 40-year-old man accused of raping a 16-year-old boy on New Year's Day. The prosecution has previously indicated that it may be adding more charges against the suspect, who was arrested almost a month ago. The case is set to be heard just a day before the State of the Nation address under the Government of National Unity. Watching that particular developing story as we keep an eye on the situation in Cape Town is SABC News reporter Kamogelo Seekoei, joining us live now from the Free State. And issues around sexual violence, no doubt many activists hoping, Kamogelo, will be featured. The Free State not being spared the worst of this, and this case is a case in point.
Indeed, Ayanda, this case really puts into sharp focus issues of gender-based violence and particularly issues of abuse against young boys. We all know that when it comes to the abuse of women and young girls, there's a lot of attention to it. But when it comes to the abuse of young boys, there seems to be rather little being said about it. But I do have with me here the ANC Women's League here in Frankfurt, the coordinator, who is Sylvia Mufumani, just to bring her into this conversation about issues of gender-based violence. You are here today, and we see that there's a lot of people who actually came here in support of the 16-year-old young boy. Can you just talk to us about the reason why it's so important to show support to this young boy?
Thank you, May. And I would like to greet all the audience, and I also want to thank the people of Mafube to attend this case today. The importance to be here today as the African National Congress Women's League is to say no to gender-based violence and femicide. We don't agree with children molestation. That's why we see us today in numbers to support this young boy. We as a people of South Africa, we need to stand together to fight against gender-based violence, because if you can remember, during apartheid time, there was a lot of oppression. But now, as a people, we stand together and we fight against this molestation and gender-based violence. That's why we see us today, and we are here to support the family and the young boy. And we will also like to see the justice prevail. Yes.
Thank you so much for your time. Ayanda, I am also going to bring in the former Free State Premier, who is Messi Ntombela. She's here today under her foundation, which is Sufura Ntombela Foundation. I just want to talk to you, Mama, about this scourge of gender-based violence. Tomorrow, the President is talking to the nation. He will be addressing the whole nation. What message would you like him to give to South Africans, particularly regarding the issue of gender-based violence?
Thank you very much, Kamo. You can see that almost everybody is here. We are having different political parties are here. We are having NGOs. You can see that we are all here. All of us, we stand together and we are saying this thing of gender-based violence, it must now stop, because now it is becoming a crisis. It is out of order. You know, men are killing our girls like dogs, our children like dogs. I mean, even women now are starting to protect themselves. If you can see now in the Free State, almost within 6-7 months, 48 women have been killed. And out of 48 young women that have been killed, 8 of them are men and 2 of them are children. And imagine now, women are saying nobody's protecting us. We must now start protecting ourselves. And check the teenage pregnancy. It is bad, Kamu. It is bad. The teenage pregnancy is bad. If you can check the abortions that are happening each and every day, it is just something that we cannot tolerate anymore. I think the president must start to really take this thing very, very, very serious. It's a crisis. It is becoming out of order. He must come out with a very harsh sentences to say all those who have done this, they must not get bail. Bail at all. And all that we have found guilty, they must not get parole at all. Because parola, then they come back, they go back, and they start to do the same thing. We cannot go on like this. And my dear, they are also saying it is nice to be in jail because they are getting almost everything than to be outside. Go and check them. all of them, they're saying we are in jail and we are doing this and we are going back in jail. We know we are going to have food, we are going to have, we'll have our TVs, we are going to be educated and all those things. Let us come with a, President, please come with a very harsh sentencing. We have seen what has happened to Congo. They have introduced this thing of a death penalty. We don't like death penalty, but just check what are those boys were doing to the community of Congo. We don't want to see that happening, but ultimately we will not be having any chance to say these people that are doing this to our young girls, to our mothers, to our young boys, of course, because these are our young boys. This man that has done this today, he has doomed the future of our young boys. It must really stop. South Africans, batho ba heso, re batho, re tshwana le batho. Let us stop destroying each other.
I just want to ask you one last question. In particular, when it's coming to young boys.
Yes.
Young boys seem to not be getting the attention and support that young girls are getting. You are running a foundation. Is there anything that you're doing for young boys, and what message can you bring, in terms of what can be done for young boys?
Thank you very much, Kamo. Sefura Foundation has 2 centers, one in Tabanchu, one in Dwelling. The concentration now is with young boys. Of course, maybe we have also done a mistake by saying we are taking young boys to work. We concentrate on young boys, young girls, and encourage young girls to be educated and forget about boys. Maybe that's why we have done a mistake. Now we should start by saying, let's take young boys to camps. Let's go and show them how important they are. Let's go and discuss to them that they must understand that they are the future fathers. It is them who are supposed to protect the families. That's what we are starting. We'll invite you to go and see what is it that we are doing. Let's go and check and talk to them about drugs, because I've told you, if you can go to all institutions, in government institutions, you'll find young boys being there. Drugs, all these bad things. So let us start to build our boys, and we have started to do so. Boys are also very important. Without them, we will not be going anywhere. So please, President, consider also that we must do something for our young boys. I'm having 3 boys and 1 girl, and my boys are also complaining to me to say, Mama Wena, you are just talking about girls. You don't even care about us. I think time has come for us to call to our boys to say, be men, be strong, protect your sisters, protect your mothers. It is you who are carrying this South African. It is you who must take care of South Africa. It is you who must protect us. We must do it. But this thing of you, our boys raping us, this thing of you, our boys, killing us, it is not right. It is also not right for us as women to start now thinking our boys can be our men. This thing of being tense, it must end. What is that? Older women now falling in love with young boys because of these young boys are saying because of unemployment. That's why we are doing that. That thing is rubbish. It must stop. We cannot be at it is wrong. Harina the morals. We must start also saying, let us bring back moral regeneration. Moral regeneration and start to build our boys, both boys and girls. We must also take our boys to the workplace. Let's show them that we love them. Let's show them that we care about them.
Thank you so much for your time, Mama Ntombela. That was Sisi Ntombela, the former Premier of the Free State, and of course the founder of the Sefura Ntombela Foundation, coming out very strongly about the messages that she'd like the President to be talking about, particularly in terms of gender-based violence, focusing mainly on the empowerment of young boys and men. She's talking there about the fact that a mistake might have happened where young girls were being empowered more than how young boys were being empowered. But with that, it's back to you, Ayanda. We will continue to monitor here in the Frankfort Magistrates Court and see what actually happens in that bail application.